In every age, the world forgets its true nature. People chase desires like shadows, searching for happiness where it cannot last. Sorrow, sickness, old age, and death follow every birth. Hearts grow heavy, and minds grow lost, unable to see the path beyond suffering. But when darkness grows deep, light is born. Long before he walked among us, it was foretold that a great being would descend into this world. Not as a god demanding worship, but as a guide, showing humanity how to free itself from pain. A teacher who would awaken wisdom sleeping in every heart. This being chose to be born as a human, so all humans would know, liberation is possible for them too. He did not come to rule. He did not come to conquer. He came to understand our suffering and show the way beyond it. His birth would mark the turning of an age where love overcomes fear, where compassion transforms anger, where wisdom ends confusion. And so, the heavens prepared, the earth waited, and all beings, whether they knew or not, were longing for his arrival. For a light was coming, a light strong enough to awaken the entire world. Queen Maya was wise, gentle, and loved by all. One night, as the moon shined brighter than ever, she had a dream unlike any other. In a divine vision, a pure white elephant, carrying a lotus, descended from the heavens. The elephant approached her with compassion and placed the lotus into her side. Without any pain, only light. The gods rejoiced, for this dream was a sign. A great being would be born into this world, not an ordinary prince, but one who would shine wisdom upon all living beings. The universe listened. Flowers opened though no wind blew. Stars shimmered in patterns never seen before. Every creature felt a deep peace as if they knew something miraculous was coming. Queen Maya awoke with a heart full of serenity, understanding that this child would transform the path of humanity. This was not merely a birth to a royal family. This was the beginning of a journey toward enlightenment for all. As the time of birth drew near, Queen Maya set out on a gentle journey to her homeland, accompanied by the royal escort. The road was peaceful, surrounded by trees blooming in early summer. The air carried a calm promise, as if nature itself was preparing for a miracle. Along the path, birds sang melodies of joy. Lotus ponds shimmered under the sunlight, reflecting a world waiting to welcome a precious life. Every step carried grace and serenity. The queen felt no fear, only a deep love for the child she carried. She understood that this was no ordinary child. In her heart, she felt a pure radiance, soft yet powerful, as though the universe itself was protecting him. The journey led him to a sacred grove called Lumbini. The moment Queen Maya arrived, a gentle breeze whispered through the leaves, and the earth stood still in reverence. She knew this was the place. Here, a new light would enter the world. When the joyful news of the newborn prince spread across the kingdom, an old hermit named Asita, living high in the mountains, suddenly felt a radiant light touch his heart. He knew this was no ordinary light. It was the sign of a future enlightened one. Moved by this vision, he hurried down the mountain to see the child. When he arrived at the palace and saw the infant in the queen's arms, tears immediately filled his eyes, not from sorrow, but from overwhelming joy and reverence. In this small child, he sensed a profound wisdom and boundless compassion unlike anything the world had known. Asita bowed low and softly spoke to the king. "Great king, this child is no ordinary being. He will become a majestic spiritual teacher. His wisdom will illuminate the world, guiding all beings toward the end of suffering." But then, Asita's eyes grew wet once more. The king, puzzled, asked why he was crying. Asita replied, "I cry because I am old. My life is nearly over. I will not live long enough to hear his teachings. A fully awakened one has entered this world, and I will not be here to receive his dharma." His words echoed through the palace like a sacred bell, signaling that the birth of this child was not just a royal celebration, but a new hope for all humanity. Prince Siddhartha grew up surrounded by royal love, yet even as a child he was different. His calm eyes seemed to see the truth beneath all things. While other children played loudly, he often sat quietly under a tree, watching leaves fall and feeling the soft wind with a natural compassion. One day, he saw a wounded bird fall from the sky. The children ran and the servants panicked, but Siddhartha gently lifted the bird, holding it with deep care. His sorrow was not only for its injury, but for the suffering that touches every living being. During the royal ploughing ceremony, he sat under a rose apple tree and observed the ox struggling, insects disturbed in the soil, and birds waiting to feed. In that moment, he sensed the cycle of suffering that fills the world. A peaceful meditation arose within him, so deep that the tree's shadow did not move. The king was astonished to find his young son in such natural stillness. He realized this child was not born only for a throne, but to open a path of wisdom and compassion for all. As Prince Siddhartha grew older, his wisdom deepened with each passing day. He did not only learn faster than others, he began asking questions that no one in the palace could fully answer. He saw joy, yet noticed the sadness hidden behind it. He saw wealth, yet sensed the fear of loss that followed close behind. These realizations stirred his heart and would not let him rest. One day, while walking through the garden, Siddhartha asked his teachers, "Why must people grow old? Why does sickness exist? And why must everyone die?" No one could offer him a true answer. From that moment on, the prince began quietly observing the world around him. He saw servants exhausted from their labor, farmers drenched in sweat, and smiles that concealed deep suffering. Each image left a lasting mark on his mind. Though surrounded by luxury, Siddhartha was not enchanted by it. Within him, a powerful longing began to grow, the longing to find a path that could free humanity from suffering. These questions had no answers yet, but they planted the seed of a great journey. A journey not in search of power, but in search of truth, for the sake of all living beings. One day, Prince Siddhartha left the palace to walk beyond its golden walls. For the first time, he saw life as it truly was. Along a narrow road, he encountered an old man. His back bent, his steps slow, his hands trembling. Siddhartha stopped and watched carefully. He had never seen aging so close before. A question rose in his heart. Why must the human body weaken with time? Further along the path, he saw a man lying by the roadside, his face pale, his breathing heavy. Siddhartha sensed the pain and helplessness brought by sickness. Turning to his charioteer, he asked, "Why must people suffer like this?" At last, he saw a silent procession carrying a motionless body. There was no laughter, no sound, only deep stillness. Siddhartha stood frozen. His heart tightened as he realized that no one, rich or poor, can escape death. When he returned to the palace, joy no longer touched him. Those images stayed with him. He understood that luxury could not hide the truth of aging, illness, and death. From that moment on, a deep awakening arose within him. If suffering is unavoidable, then there must be a path beyond it. And that path, he knew, he would have to find himself. That night, the palace fell into deep sleep. But inside Prince Siddhartha, a storm quietly rose. The images of the day remained vivid in his mind, the trembling of old age, the pain of sickness, the stillness of death. Nothing could erase these truths. He looked around the palace halls. Gold, power, comfort, and protection were all there. Yet for the first time, he saw clearly that none of them could shield a human life from suffering. Even the deepest love could not stop aging, illness, and death. Siddhartha entered the chamber of his wife and child. Yashodhara and little Rahula slept peacefully. He stood there for a long moment. His heart tightened, not with doubt, but with understanding. If he stayed, he could protect the happiness of one family. If he left, he might discover a path to free countless beings from suffering. There was no voice from the heavens, no miracle, only a quiet decision, firm as a mountain. Siddhartha turned away from the palace, not because he rejected love, but because his love was too great. That night, the prince left the palace, not to escape life, but to seek the truth that could end suffering for all.